Joint Secretary Ambassador Nagaraj Naidu is with us. He's here for the second Development Working Group meeting here at Kumarakom in Kerala. Sir, a very fruitful day, very fruitful beginning rather, where data for development was the key issue that the various speakers have spoken about.
As you've heard today, we've started off the second Development Working Group meeting with a side event. We are focusing the side event on the issue of data for development. And we think that today data is the new oil, and while data is available all around us, the thing that could essentially make a difference is quality data. So how can you make data timely, data accessible, and data must be predictable? Because only then can you generate trust, and then you can also look at once the trust is built, it is far much more easier for data flows to take place. With that in mind, I think our endeavor has been to get the G20 to see how data can contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. We are right now at the midpoint of the 2030 agenda, and we barely have 7 more years. So we are of the view that by effectively utilizing, deploying data, and by building data capacities in the global south, we will be able to make far much more efficient decision making, efficient delivery of public services, as well as it would ensure in greater transparency and monitoring.
Going forward, this is the second meeting. What's the immediate challenge in front of the whole G20 member countries and invited countries that needs to be discussed today?
I think, the second DWG is going to focus on a lot of deliverables that we have. As you know, the high-level principles on life is very, very big, and our whole attempt is to put forth a new discourse wherein it will be a bottom-up approach to climate action. There is not just a focus on consumption at the individual level, where an individual can make a rational choice as to selection of green pathways. Governments of the day need to put in place effective policy frameworks so that the transitions are easy. So today, I think India is trying to put forward a new paradigm shift, wherein it is the consumer, it's a bottom-up approach to a greener future. In the process, I think there is a heavy focus on a circular economy. It is very, very important as to how we as citizens of the world can set an example, and how India can perhaps be the knowledge thinker in this area. And that's the reason why I think our endeavor would be to get the G20 members agree to these high-level principles and see how effectively can the world deliver on its climate action promises.
Where does India stand if we are talking in terms of data for development, or as you've already mentioned, circular economy? Where does India stand?
I think as a developing country, we have made substantial strides when you talk of data or digital public infrastructure. A few days back at the second Sherpa meeting, we had an entire experiential zone that was created to demonstrate to the world how effectively India has been deploying digital public infrastructure. We are laying down the guardrails on which private companies are able to thrive. The UPI is an example. Today in the fast payments spectrum, I think India today ranks #1 in the world as far as fast payments is concerned. But not just fast payments, we look at the way we've delivered vaccines, digitalized certificates for COVID. Also look at other public goods such as whether it is DigiLocker, whether it is Swayam, whether it is Diksha.
We've also given the facility to the G20 delegates who've come from abroad, the facility of UPI to spend here in our own country in rupee. How is that going?
No, it's primarily an endeavor for delegates to experience. When we say fast payments, unless and until somebody experiences it. So we have tried it out in Udaipur, we tried it out in other places wherein delegates were able to experience how are we able to make digital transactions, right from somebody who is able to sell fruits on a street to perhaps even paying bills at a restaurant. So that's been the endeavor. The endeavor is to how do you communicate transformational digitization that we are seeing at home. So that is perhaps the key of what we are trying to do.
Thank you very much for talking to us, sir. So that was Nagaraj Naidu talking about various topics that will be picked up during these meeting days for the second DWG meeting, and also he listed out the priorities for India and the world to work together towards finding a global solution. With camera person SP Dubey, this is Shyama Mishra for DD India, Kumarkom, Kerala.